Good morning, Janine. Here we go. Wow. Good morning, Clover. Fun to see a new face in here once in a while. Thanks. Yeah, I've been kind of wearing the vintage Jordan Alliance shirts lately. I like the fact that some of them were like just really limited edition. Well, we're both kind of mulling along here. You still coming to terms with her loss. I guess we kind of both are, but I knew I started feeling better when I buried her. So I was right. It's in the past now, and it's just we're gonna have to learn to remember the happy times. Thank you, Clover. Yeah, it's like I said, I had a lot of time to think about it because Nibble had been going downhill for a while, and so it was coming. It was clear that it wasn't going to be long, right? I think even you realized it, didn't you? She was a good kitty. You're like drooling all over the place. I think we got to switch it up to the brush here. Petting you, my hand's getting wet. Yeah, well, unfortunately, with pets, you know that eventually this is going to happen. And I think I said something about it in the video or maybe in the last live stream. But I've often thought about what happens when one lives and one doesn't, and what would be, the best outcome of that. And honestly, the best outcome was Nibble going first, because if Bite went first, Nibble's only connection to another living being would be gone. At least Bite has me. And who knows? Maybe if it happened the other way, maybe uh, Nibble might have become more affectionate. She actually did become more affectionate in her final weeks. I heard her purr for the first time ever, just like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It turns out she loved to be brushed. Hi, Tracy. Hello, Jean. Now it's a party. Yeah, people starting to trickle in now. I'm gonna do this. Let's get you a little closer here, so I'm not like extended right to the end of my arm range here. Yeah, I'll let you see a little bit of bite here. Were you two not that close to each other, or what's the deal? you know, because Bite and Nibble were inseparable. You know, they slept next to each other their whole life. You know, the earliest pictures I have of them sleeping are they're right next to each other, and he was with her right to the end. Weren't you? You're gonna come visit us here, aren't you? You're an only cat now. Yeah, well, that is the consensus here, basically. Except for the fact that Nibble really never got that many treats anyway, because she didn't really come out here. She wasn't really a treat kitty. Whereas Bite, you know, he's always willing to take a treat. Yep, that's my buddy. Oops. Did you get it? Guess you did. I don't feel it down there. Okay, you're fat enough, though. That's enough for now. You see, that's how it works. He gets the treat, and the second the jar closes up, boom, he's out of here. Yeah, that's my buddy. Oh, thanks. Yeah, last few weeks I've been kind of wearing my vintage Jordan Alliance shirt. So this is the last one that I have. This is when Jordan had that really great t-shirt artist who would do all these great shirts for him and handle everything. And basically, Jordan would just get a commission for the shirts that he sold. Unfortunately, the guy went out of business or whatever. He was just about to start doing mine. In fact, he made one for me that you know, there was like a limited edition of 3. And I think he kept one, and Jordan got one, and I got one. But he did good work. I mean, I don't wear these a lot, but they look amazing. In fact, I realized when I put this one on today, it's a little tight. Yep, I'm more of a host now than I've ever been. Hello, Michael. Pacific Northwest. I hear there's like a big rainstorm that's going like through California. You're north of that then, huh? You getting any rain? I don't know. I heard that there is what they call a atmospheric river right now, or at least it was a couple of days ago. Actually, I haven't looked at it. Let's go check it out. Maybe it's over already. There is something that's kind of moving through the San Francisco area, but maybe that's burned out already. Thank you, Tracy. That's really nice of you. White would thank you too, but he's gone back to his room for the moment. I don't know. He may come back out. We'll get him to thank you then. I appreciate it though. Is that what it is, Michael? Okay. The weather here can't seem to make up its mind what it wants to do. Yesterday it was really nice to be out, and the evening started nice. I got out of work right on time last night, which is always nice, and got outside and it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of nice out here. It's about the mid 60s or so. That's nice for. But even then, I could tell that there was this cold breeze coming out, and by the time I went out for my walk last night about 11, it was like 40 degrees out there, and it's cold and windy out there today. And we're supposed to warm up for a day or so, and then all of a sudden it's going to get really cold. We're going to get down like into the teens at night, and I think one day late in the middle of the week it's going to be like 30 degrees for the high. So yeah, weather can't, and then it goes back into the 70s again. It just can't seem to figure out what it wants to do. Good morning, Scott. But you know what? That's sort of what I like about Texas. Weather in Texas is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Hey, Lindex, how are you? Yeah, I suppose that's true. You're snowed in. Oh, you're one of those because yeah, that's right. The northern half of the country is getting pounded too. And our buddy's back. Now you can thank Tracy for the kitty treat fund. Yeah, the kitty treat fund is replenished now. All because of Tracy. So if you want to thank Tracy, just stand there and purr. All right, there you go, Tracy. How much clearer can it be than that? 7 degrees and 3 below tomorrow. Yeah, I've been in Minnesota in extreme cold. Never again. Never again. I decided I have an uncle. You know, all my family is sort of from Minnesota, and I got an aunt and an uncle on my mom's side, and an uncle on my dad's side. And my uncle on my dad's side has a cabin in northern Minnesota, or in a little town, or near a little town called Laporte, and he hangs out there a lot. And I decided I wanted to go in the winter one time, and was up in northern Minnesota when it was like negative 20 degrees. It hurt to be outside, hurt to breathe. I've been there on the other end too. We always went there in the summer, so because with there's my uncle and even grandparents have had a cabin kind of in that area, for many years. So even when I was a kid, we'd go on family vacations. We'd be up around there, and you know, it got hot. It was hot and humid, and mosquitoes were crazy there. I mean, I don't think Waco. I elect not to be in it that much, but I can deal with it in small doses. Uh, I was just mentioning this to somebody yesterday when I came here to Texas. That was the one requirement I had for a job. I was not going to be working outside anymore. I enjoyed doing that at Disney, but Disney is in California, and it's you know generally pretty nice to be outside. But not here. I don't want to be outside in the heat or in the cold here. My grandparents used to live just a couple miles from Fort Snelling. My uncle still does. He's actually uh, lives just on the other side of the Mall of America. Hey, Roberta, I've driven by Fort Snelling many times. I've never actually been there because it's like right near the airport. No, not for a second. I don't want to even visit California again. I'll probably end up doing it, but the last couple of times I've gone to California, I just had this sense of dread when I entered the state. Nope, I'm a Texan now. A couple months from now, it'll be 6 years. Yeah, I tended to, even when I was in Minnesota when it was hot, I tended to stay in during the heat of the day. Now, when we were up north, the cabin was on the lake, was on one of the lakes up there. And so we just escaped the heat by going into the water. Yeah, it was probably about 6 years ago now, probably 6 years ago last month, where I came to Texas for the first time and made the decision to move here to Waco. Thank you. I had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do with Nibbles marker. I knew I wanted to do something. I wasn't sure what it was, and I started thinking about that little statuary, and I said, I wonder if they had a whole bunch of little things. I wonder if they have like cats and dogs. And I went to their website. It's the greatest website name ever. It's called Got Dirty Birds. I think it's gotdirtybirds.com because they sell bird baths. So if you got dirty birds, you get a bird bath for you. So it's one of those little joke things that make you think it's something it isn't. Oh, there's got to be something in those docs. Somebody's got to know something more than has been released about JFK. Have you ever thought about getting a StreamYard? I don't know what that is. Are we dealing with a an autocorrect error here? Yeah, I know. If you told me 6 years ago that when I started doing this vlog, that 6 years later I'd still be doing it, I would say, yeah, you're crazy. But yeah, I think next month is the 6 year anniversary. Honestly, I looked at Google Maps, basically satellite view of Texas. From that, I realized I wanted to be on the east side of the state because the east side of the state is very, very green. In fact, here I'll show you what I looked at here. Hold on, we're going to pull up Google Maps. All right. Gotta zoom out here. I don't know why am I not using my mouse. I got a mouse for this here. All right, so let's cut away here. I can do that now. Takes a second, but okay. So this is basically Google Maps here, and you can see Texas in the middle. And if you look at the left side of the state, left side of the state is uh, really brown because it's just a lot of desert there. But as you move more towards the east, you can see it become greener and greener. And so I started looking. So I knew I wanted to be on this side of the state, and I kind of looked around for areas that I thought would have, decent size industry, be a big enough of a town where there'd be. Yeah, I don't want to help you. Google Maps stop popping up during my live stream here. I didn't want to. I wanted to go someplace where there's a potential where there'd be some jobs, and I was looking at the map basically from this perspective here, and I didn't really think about that much about Houston, but I was looking at Dallas and Fort Worth, and you kind of see over there right near the Louisiana border, you see Longview. I went there, and I saw Waco, and I flew into Texas and stayed just outside of Dallas for about a week and traveled around the state. I went to Longview. I went to Waco, and when I was here in Waco, I was just kind of driving around. I really kind of liked the vibe of the place, and I decided, okay, well, let's see what kind of housing prices they have. And I started just driving around. I think I opened up like a realtor website or something like that, and decided to drive around, look at some of the houses that were for sale. And I remember I was texting my dad at the time and saying, "Geez, look at this house I can get for $220,000. This one's 214,000. And these big, beautiful houses." And that's sort of what did it for me. I chose Waco and never looked back. But yeah, that was it. Yeah, I'm interested to see who's on the Epstein list. I mean, I think a lot of people we know who they are already. Yeah, yeah. Haven't had to do a lot of that's not how it's done. Because I've been able to fix up the few little blunders that were here. Yeah, I went to Longview. I went to sorry. I went to Longview. I went to Dallas and Fort Worth. Actually, uh, I had a little adventure on the night that I arrived because I needed to rent a car, but it was like the middle of the night and I arrived for the visit, and I had plans to rent a car, but for some reason my credit card they couldn't get it to scan, and so I ended up setting up an Uber account. First time it'd be the first time I'd ever used Uber, and I had to go set that up and get it all working, and then Uber over to the hotel for the night, and uh, and then come back the next morning when I had the credit card thing figured out. And by anyway, in the on one of the trips, I think I was talking to the driver about what I was there to do, and he recommended I look at a place called Rockwall too. I looked at Rockwall. I don't know. It seemed too much like the neighborhoods that I remember in California, where it's just little cookie cutter yards, all butted up against each other. With cinder block fences around it. It's like that's too much like what I moved away from. Um, I want a little bigger piece of property, and it was a brand new area that had just been opened up, so there were no trees, and it just wasn't. I don't know. I didn't think it wasn't for me, and I looked at Dallas and Fort Worth, and they were too much like Los Angeles, and I wanted something a little smaller town. So the only real options were Longview and Waco from what my position was at that point, and I just liked I liked Waco better. Good morning, Brack. Yeah, I've been hearing we're pretty cold here too. I think we're supposed to get like into the low teens by like Wednesday in the middle of the night. Oh, is that a software that I can do, Roberta? Because I guess I've heard that there's like an interface that you can do that'll allow you to bring in guests and stuff like that. I think Eric has mentioned he's done it a few times. I guess it'd be cool if I had a guest to bring in. I often did think it would be fun to have more control over the user interface. Now that they gave us this new feature where I can, show you the screen, and show you things online or things on my computer, and I do that a lot. I have fun with that. Been drinking more water lately, so I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have to get to the point where we have 3 glasses of water for the live streams. Oh yeah, yeah. I decided last week to. I was getting a little fuzzy here, so got to do that every once in a while. It's a good way to lose weight, and it's not as hard as dieting. Mhm. Yeah, that's it. We'll have Rhonda on the live stream. I mean, what I did with calling my mom. I mean, that's really all I would really ever need. It's okay. So it's something on YouTube. Yeah, maybe I'll look into it. I like new features. Yeah, very possible. She seems to work a lot of Sundays. I think especially when she's on kind of restricted duty because of her injury. I think that she says they're making her work in the back more often. But who knows? Sometimes she just pop in too. Housing prices are going down in DC. Is that because we have a new president? All the rats are abandoning the sinking ship. Or moving to extradition-free countries. See, that's the question. Are the prices in the non-extradition treaty countries going up? See, that was another reason. Another thing that attracted me to Texas is the housing prices were so reasonable. I mean, I bought this with cash just from the proceeds from selling the house in California. Yeah, and of course, you remember I cut my teeth on doing interviews on the phone with by doing one with my dad right before he passed. Well, look at what Elon Musk did at Twitter. He fired 80% of the people, and the place runs better. I would have to believe that there's at least as much unnecessary bulk in the government. I mean, I heard something just today that they uncovered more than $1 trillion was transferred to from the Medicare fund to foreign countries. It's like, why are we doing Medicare for foreign countries? It's going to go broke as it is. But that's $1 trillion. We're not talking, 50 million or 100 million or even a billion. We're talking $1 trillion. And it was like almost 2 trillion. It was like trillion and a half or something, some ridiculously number. I think we're going to find a lot of things as a result of Doge. And the crazy thing is, all the bureaucrats thought they could keep this secret for forever, and they just keep spending more and more and more money and not getting anything out of it, and that we'd never figure out. I mean, they just think we're idiots. I can basically take a vacation whenever I want. Actually, there's going to be, I think I mentioned this before, we got a another maintenance interval coming up in a little less than a month now, where I'm going to be off of work for the most part for about 2 weeks. I might have to go in one or two times, but uh, I'm going to during those off days, I'm going to try and do some road trips. I got some things I want to do, so you would stay tuned for that. I want to go visit a haunted bridge in near Dallas. And then there's also a cemetery I want to visit that allegedly, like 140 years ago, an alien craft crashed in town, and uh, there was a pilot aboard, and the city people buried the pilot in their cemetery. I want to go visit the grave of the alien. That's true. If we'd voted different, you're right. We never would have found out about any of this. That's crazy. Jordan also told me recently that there's another Meow Wolf that just opened up in Houston. Might have to check that out too. I want to figure out a better way to get there though, because when I was in Houston last maintenance interval to visit the Johnson Space Center, it took forever to get through town and get back out into the country again. You know, dealing with the traffic. You know, Houston's a big place. And I might be willing to do, increase the distance if I could get out of town faster. That first drive when I left that day, it was like spending an hour in Los Angeles traffic. And I made it, what, 10, 15 miles or something like that? Yeah, Meow Wolf. Check it out. I went there I went to the one in Dallas, and I also went with Jordan to one in Santa Fe, New Mexico, I think is where it was. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at my list. I got kind of a list of things that I want to do, and it'd be nice if I could find things that were like near each other. I haven't really done a lot of traveling north of here, so it'd be kind of fun to maybe go north of Dallas and see what's up there. Yeah, I did Meow Wolf up north of Dallas, but there's a George W. Bush Presidential Museum is up there. That'd be fun to do. Like I said, that's all kind of in the area. Maybe it'd be a couple-day road trip or something like that. Get up there, get a hotel kind of in a central location, and just go visit different things. I don't know. It isn't all finalized yet, but I like to take advantage of those maintenance intervals because if I'm going to be home, I might as well do something. And who knows? I might spend a bunch of time working on the planter too. Hopefully by next month it'll starting to warm up and be nice to be out during the day. Well, I've left them alone for I think because every time I traveled to California, when in the first year between when I left California when my dad died, you remember I traveled 8 or 9 times to California, and it was about a week each time, and so I figured a week or 8 days is about the most I'd be able to leave him alone. I don't know what would be different with White now. I mean, because he is all alone now, but. No, it's a good sprinkler system. I just wish I knew where everything went. I have no idea. And if something went wrong, I don't know what I'd do to fix it. Because the anti-siphon valves seem to be all over the yard and they're just buried in the yard somewhere. Yeah, most of them have like a little cap on top of them, but I do use the sprinkler system, yes. I mean, honestly, I haven't had the sprinklers on for a while, but we've had a lot of rain lately. And when it's rainy season, I like to take advantage of that. I don't know, probably something simple. I'll probably go with a hamburger or something. This is kind of my first day of my weekend here, so it's a short weekend, so that's a drag, but that's still 3 days. I remember when I had a job that where I had a 3 day weekend. It's like, whoa! I have one, a guaranteed one every week, and one of them's 4 days. So, or one week, every other week is 4 days. So that's great. No, I probably won't make a final decision about what's going in the new pool in the new planter area until I actually get it built and kind of have the whole thing, up and working. That's a long ways off. We may not even get anything in the plant in the planter this year. It may be something where I let it sit for a year before I do anything with it. Never thought about hard boiled eggs in an instant pot. What settings do you do, Tracy? I mean, how do you do it? Do you fill it up with water, or do you just put it like in just a little bit of water? Because I suppose that would work. How long do you keep it at pressure? 5 minutes to cook, 5 minutes to cool down, 5 minutes uh, in ice, huh? And what do? Just put a little bit of water in there, and do you set the eggs in the water, or do you use like a basket or a steaming basket? Be interesting to try that. Just see what happens. Okay, that sounds easy. 5 minutes of pressure, 5 minutes slow release, and then quick release, and then 5 minutes in ice water. That sounds pretty easy. I'll have to try that because I love hard boiled eggs, and that's always been a pet peeve of mine too with the eggs when the shell sticks to them, and you're like pulling one little piece off at a time. I love it when you can crack it open and just let the whole thing slides out. Yeah, that sounds really doable. Never made an omelet in the Instant Pot. I suppose you could probably do it using the saute function. I do love deviled eggs. And yeah, that ruins a deviled egg immensely, really, really quickly if you can't get the shell off. God, now I kind of want to try making hard boiled eggs in the Instant Pot. Okay, I was trying to figure out what the first sentence meant there because I didn't understand how crack fit into the question. But okay, that's cool. I'll be honest with you. The reason I did the Instant Pot recipes is because at the same time I got one, my mom got one, and my mom was afraid of it. And so I was hoping that if I, did a bunch of vlogs on what you can do with it, she'd become less afraid of it. She never did. The only times I think she ever used it was when I was there. And I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if my niece got it or my nephew got it or my sister got it or if it just went with the estate sale. My mom just did, well, it was never her thing. She always loved the results. The one time I was there, we cooked broccoli in it and she loved how it worked, but I think she was just afraid of it. I love mine because I've always loved steamed vegetables. And, I had some, cookware that allowed me to steam, and I use that all the time, like a steamer basket that goes on top of the pot. And I use that all the time. But when the Instant Pot came along, it's like, oh, okay, well, that works too. And there have been times where I need to, do steam multiple things at once. So I can do something in the Instant Pot, and I can do two things on the stove. So I can do a lot of steaming if I have to. One down. Can anyone confirm if I'm still broadcasting? The clock on my screen stopped. Huh, that's weird. Because I'm looking at the clock. There's a running clock on the screen here, and I thought it was weird. It said I'm 47 minutes into this, but I like started like 6 minutes early, so we should be like 53, 54 minutes into this. That's weird. Maybe the clock just froze or something. Strange. I gotta admit, I haven't been following the housing prices. I know that there's a couple of houses around here, including the house next door to me, that's been for sale for a long time and they're not selling. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. It doesn't really affect me that much because yeah, okay, this is an investment, but um, I don't plan on, moving anytime soon. I like this place. I'm just starting to get this place whipped into shape. Thank you, Jenny. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, those ribs in the Instant Pot that I did that one time, those were amazing. I would definitely do that again. Hey, Bite, you coming back to visit? You gonna come up and say hi? He's thinking about it. Yes, he is. You gonna come up? Yeah, I figured as much. Well, we're glad you're back. It has been a long time, hasn't it? But you remember Jenny. Come on, gotta clean under your neck here. You can't groom yourself very well there. I suspect we're gonna have bird bath freezing weather here in a few days. Yeah, moving is a lot of work. I remember when I had to move into this place, unloaded stuff I hadn't seen in more than a year. Right, Bite? So much of this stuff was in the storage shed. Yeah, it made me sad too. Nibble was a good kitty, but it was good to get it finished off. I'm starting to feel better now. We're in the healing phase right now. Light still won't go up on the platform that Nibble used to sleep on. The He sleeps on the ground. Yeah, I'm even worse than Nat Lindex. I don't get rid of stuff very much. I'm definitely a pack rat. Well, yeah, we're gonna help each other get through this. At least we got each other. The problem with scratching the kitty cat is I start inhaling cat hair. Yeah, this guy's coming up on 18. He'll be 18 middle of next month. You know what that means, right? You got to get out and get a job. You're 18 now. You can't be leeching around the house anymore. You got a high school education. It's time to go get a job. I did. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, still at the same place, doing well. I don't know if it's how long back it was since you were here, but about a year ago, I got a pretty good promotion, keeping me busy. It's hard work, it's long days, but when I look at that paycheck, it's like, yeah, okay, I can do this. Yeah, he's an old man here. Time to get a job. No more lounging around the house. Yeah, you're all upset now. You got to get a job, aren't you? That's not what you paid for. No, I didn't get a job until after I graduated. But that was, my parents laid down the law on that. It's, I know it's summer. I know you're graduated. I know you're going to college in the spring or in the fall, but you got to get a job. And actually, I did work the summer before my senior year because I worked at my church as a janitor. Wasn't really into it. Wasn't my thing. Didn't seem upwardly mobile. But I got a little spending money, so that was good. It's funny, the clock on the screen is still locked at 47 minutes. I don't know what happened. Definitely been going more than that now. Yeah, Doris Miller, he's our local hero. And it's funny, I see him popping up all over the place. When I went to visit that battleship when I was in Los Angeles, the last time or the time before, I guess, when I went to visit my mom and then went down to LA for a couple of days. Um, they had a picture of him plastered on outside the wall there. He's our hometown hero, definitely. Yeah, that's it. Nibble froze the clock. That might be it. I think we just cracked that mystery. Blame it on the ghost of my dead cat. It's really quiet in here right now. I'm not sure this live stream is working right now. I don't know if I've lost my user interface or what. I'm going to stop this one if there's anyone watching, and I want to restart it. So stand by. I'll be right back. See, I can't even crash out of this. That was weird because I stopped the live stream, but it wouldn't let me stop it. Hello, Gene. Okay, I don't know what happened there. This is technically the same live stream. I stopped it, but the button wouldn't work. I had to shut the browser down. When I opened up the browser, the computer said that we were still streaming. And I somehow managed to reconnect to it. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. About 20 minutes ago, the clock on the screen froze on me, and it just seemed like no comments were coming anymore. The weather can't make up its mind, Lindex. It's up. It's really warm some days, and it's really cold. It was a really nice day yesterday, and as I was getting out of work, it's like, oh, it's real nice. It's low 60s. Which is really nice for February. And all of a sudden, but I could start feeling the wind. Like a couple hours later, it was like in the 40s, and it was really cold this morning when I got up. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Yeah, Nibble was a good kitty. No, I think Jenny was right. I think Nibble's haunting us. She's haunting the live stream. It's her way of saying, "Where's my treats?" Yeah, I'm hoping some of the mud will come off of the limestone, and it'll be whiter. And who knows? Maybe I just need to hit the limestone with like some sandpaper or something. Limestone is really soft, so when you hit it with that, you could scrape off a few of the layers, get down to the white. Yeah, well, I knew I had that piece of that stepping stone piece, and so I figured, okay, well, the thing's 12 inches long by 12 inches long, and I looked at the length of the kitty, and it's like, that's perfect. Oh yeah, there's limestone all over the place, just about a foot underground. I have no idea what happened to the screen. It just seemed to me like the screen froze, and when I came back, there were comments that had occurred while I was apparently frozen that now all of a sudden I could see. So I don't know, something happened on my end. But now I got control of the interface again. I can see the clock. I can see comments coming up. I don't know, just a glitch on my end. It happens. Gotta love technology. Oh, Byte's coming to terms with it, I think. First week or so, he's always been kind of vocal a little bit at night. One time every 2 weeks or so, he'll get up in the middle of the night, start wandering in the house, going meow, meow, meow for the first week or so after she died. He did that like 3, 4 times a night. It's like he was looking for her. Yeah, I am happy how Nibble's memorial came out. Even Jordan commented on that one. Yeah, Nibble died a week ago on Saturday morning, sometime between when I got up at 4:30 and when I left for work at 6. and I left her in their room all day, so Bite could spend some time with her and kind of maybe hopefully come to terms with what happened. I don't know how much he understands that. He saw another cat die, but he was never that close to the other cat, and so you know, I don't know how his brain processes this. I know he misses her. In fact, I've been thinking about making like an 8 by 10 photograph of her and putting it on the ground near where he sleeps. I don't know if he would if he'd recognize that or what, but hello, Mark. Although you've been here before, but somebody says hello, everyone. I feel I'm everyone, or at least part of everyone, right? Well, I think just from observing Bite, I think I can confirm that that does happen because he's definitely grieving. He misses her. I actually took him out to her grave a couple nights ago. I don't think he understands completely what that is, but I've always made it a point when I've had more than one pet where they were good friends with each other and one of them goes, I make sure the other one gets a chance to examine the body, if you will. Oh, they definitely have emotions. They just they can't maybe communicate it the same way we can, but definitely they feel it. Yeah, I knew I had to do something like that at the end of that video. A lot of those pictures, I don't think anybody's ever seen those except for me. I haven't returned Nibble's bed yet to the bedroom. That's still in the garage. I'll probably clean that up at some point and then give it back to Bite. I bet you he'd like it because it probably smells like her. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll clean the bed up and do the 8x10 photo at the same time. Oh yeah, thanks. I've been meaning to get the haircut for a while. It's been a while. I'm one of those people. I'm not really that obsessed with my looks, so I let the hair go until it gets to the point where it's annoying, and it's like, okay, got to do something about it. Well, that was last weekend. I'm guessing Rhonda's at work today. She was here a bit last time. Actually, most of the time last time, I think. It's something I'd like to do. I got to do some real serious thinking about it, though. There's one thing I've been looking at. I think I talked to you about it at one point, where they got this uh, uh, eyepiece list, eyepiece list telescope. It's one where you don't have an eyepiece. It actually takes astrophotography, and it's designed from the ground up to do that. And apparently, it does really, really good job. But it's not cheap either. Let's see what I don't remember what it was called here. Let me see if I can find it on. It's Celestron. Celestron telescopes. I think that was. Yeah, let's look at this. This is the one here. Okay, let's see. What do we got going on here? Get rid of all the pages I don't need to have open here. Yeah, it's this is called the. Hold on, let me cut away to that now. I can do that. Okay, so this is a thing I've been looking at. This is called a Celestron Origin, and like I said, it's designed doesn't have an eyepiece. It's a camera. It's just a really high end camera, and I don't know, kind of a cool little piece. Seems like it'd be pretty portable. It's a little pricey, about 4 grand, but that would be a fun thing. Like I said, this was something that wasn't even available when I first heard about it, uh, but has been released now. And I haven't heard a whole lot of things about it, but I've heard some people say some kind of cool things. So it seems like it has a lot of features, and it would be fun to get some great photographs. I don't think it allows me to do live video. I think it's photographs mainly. But yeah, that's that's sort of what I'm looking for if I were able to get something. I don't know, maybe. I think it Bluetooth to your cell phone. That's true. It is fun to be able to look at stuff, but I also think it'd be fun to really get really great pictures of stuff. I guess I'd like to see, a collection of some of the images, how well it does like on, local stuff like our planets. What kind of a photograph could I get of like Jupiter or something like that? But you're right. I think it is fun just kind of looking through it yourself. And of course, this thing, has the ability to track because, the Earth is spinning, so the sky is moving, you know, so if you don't have the telescope moving also, well, that's it. It depends on how great the shots are. I mean, you look at the, let's cut away to this again here. You look at, this is one of the shots that they say that's looks like the Andromeda galaxy. So that's a decent photograph if that came from this thing. And that's a pretty amazing photo. And that's the Horsehead Nebula. So, I mean, that seems like fairly decent photographs, assuming that these came from that. That's a decent picture of the moon and a comet. I've always loved that picture. That one's gorgeous. Supernova remnant. So I don't know. That seems like it does pretty good. I don't know about zoom in or if it's got just a constant focus. That's something you wouldn't want to use on the sun, though. That's the problem. Yeah, I know. I mean, it looks like if those are pictures it took, then it should be able to take really decent pictures of the planets and stuff like that. I guess I'd want to see more uh, images from it. See, get an actual raw image off the thing, see what it looks like. Because the telescope I have now is a little more than a toy. In fact, I bought a sighting scope recently, and it actually does a better job as a telescope than my telescope does. No, I don't. I don't know any stores locally where I can see one, and that is nice to be able to look at it and touch it. But This is one of those things I would like to see the output. And I bet you somebody's got one online, got some pictures online. Yeah, I could probably do that too. There's all sorts of Facebook pages that, address things like that. I mean, heck, there's a Facebook page on this. Maybe interesting. You check to see if there's like any. I'm just going to Google Celestron origin photographs. And let's see what we can find here. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so we're going to cut away again here. This is way better than looking at me anyway, right? Okay, so see, these are some of the pictures. Yeah, looks like some of the pictures they have here are the ones that they have on the web page. Yeah, see, there's a picture of Jupiter. Come on, is this really a Facebook page? Okay, yeah, see, that's a decent picture. Saturn. Oh, yeah, forget the advertisement. So that's a decent picture of Saturn. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's pretty cool. That looks like a kind of a cool picture. Yeah, I know. I saw it the first time. It's a 1200-second exposure. So what that about 20 minutes? But that's a pretty good picture. That's actually a really beautiful picture. I don't know. It might be worth looking into something like that. Hey, there's Rhonda. 11 inches of snow. Yeah, I hear they're getting pounded up over there. It's a little chilly here, so you got to feel sorry for us too. I could only be outside for like 2 minutes in my short pants and a t-shirt, and I had to come in. Thanks for stopping in, Gene. See you next week. Yeah, unfortunately, you're right, Farley. Uh, and that was one of the things I was sort of hoping that when I moved here into Waco, that Waco was going to be small enough that it would have dark skies. But no, we don't have dark skies here. There are places in Texas where there are dark skies. But you're right, light pollution is a big issue. Yeah, that whole area is getting pounded. I don't know. I was looking at radar in the West Coast. Let's look at what's going on over here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you guys are having a good time here. Let's get the things centered here. Yep, a lot of snow. Thank you, Logan. Hugs and kisses back. I suppose they probably understand too. I mean, I remember last time we got a couple inches of snow here. They shut down the plant for the day, and I only lived 2 miles away, so I ended up going in. I was like one of the only people there. It sure does look beautiful, but it's a pain to get through. Yeah, see, we don't get that much snow. This year, I think we only got a little snow flurry. It didn't even stick to the ground. Last year, we had kind of a cold year that kind of came through. I think it was the year before that we had like 4 inches of snow, and it stayed around for a couple of days. Well, like I said, I like the fact that it snows a little here, but doesn't snow much. It's enough to be pretty and enough to not be annoying, But I think if we got 20 inches of it, I don't know if I'd be as happy about it, as tolerant about it. And Waco is not in any position to deal with it. We don't have snow plows. We don't have, you know, anti-icing techniques. Salt trucks and stuff like that. Oh, tomorrow's President's Day, huh? Okay. Yeah, the nice thing about snow sometimes is just staying home and looking at it out the window. Yeah, like I said, it's still a novelty for me because it never snowed in California where I lived. Occasionally we get little hailstorms, but that was about it. Roast in the crock pot. That sounds pretty good. Hard to go wrong with that. Yeah, I gotta go get some more firewood, I think, today, because it'll be a nice night to have a fire in the fireplace. Watching NASCAR, huh? All right, yeah, I guess I heard that was happening too. Yeah, that's something else I love about my house. I had a fireplace, but it was a gas fireplace, and yes, it would generate heat, and yes, the cats like to sleep in front of it when it was on, but it took it a long time to heat up the room. I like the fact that I have just a wood burning fireplace right now, and just throw it in there, and that throws an enormous amount of heat. Yeah, I know. That's what's next after the fires, Gene. Yeah. Now they've burned away everything that's holding those hills together. So that was just part. The fires were just part one. Honestly, I don't have a crock pot, so I don't have any crock pot recipes. I do have an idea for a vlog though that I'm going to probably do today, and it will be food related. I think Bite's trying to work up the courage to come and join us, but doesn't quite have the oomph yet to get up onto the couch, do you? There, he made it. He made his first attempt and only ended up with his front paws on the edge of the couch. Didn't get that whole big giant mass up there, did you? Oh, we're both kind of adapting. For about a week now, Bite has been very vocal at night. He's out wandering around the house going meow, meow. I think he's looking for nibble. Coming to Oklahoma City. That isn't too far away. We're coming up on a another maintenance interval at work too. So I got a road trip planned, maybe two, coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah, it seems like you're sort of on the trailing edge of what I was looking at. I don't know what happened to my mom's instant pot. I don't know if she took it, if my sister took it, if my niece got it, if my nephew got it, or if it just went with the estate sale. I don't know. My mom never used it much. The only time she ever used it was when I was there. I think she was afraid of it. I got to admit, I was a little afraid of mine the first time too, but when I started playing with it, it's like this thing's actually pretty cool. It isn't your grandmother's pressure cooker. You're in the red zone for snow, huh? Yeah, that sounds like fun. Let's see, look at that again here. We'll kind of focus in a little bit on, because you're right near Toronto, right? A lot of snow right there. Looks to me like it's weakening now. At least this little part of it seems more, more serious at the beginning and end of the video sequence than at the end. Maybe it's burning itself out, moving away from me a little bit. 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours east of Ontario, of Toronto. Okay. Yeah, these instant pots have a lot of safety features to make that not be an issue. Just got to keep your hand away from the steam vent when you vent. It's a really versatile tool, though. I like all the things we can do in it. I got whatever the model was that came out, what, 5 or 6 years ago, and I got the biggest one I could get because they got different size ones. And I wanted to be able to cook, large things in it. Yeah, you got to be careful about overfilling them. I had that happen too. I think I made split pea soup once, and I did it for a vlog. And when I vented, it erupted all over the wall. Yeah, I have the actual Instant Pot brand. I'm sure there's knockoffs. Yeah, it literally was like The Exorcist, except in The Exorcist, it wasn't boiling hot liquid. You remember that when it erupted all over the wall? Yeah, it's probably my third most popular kitchen utensil after the microwave and the toaster oven. I've done all sorts of good things in there. Well, I hope you got your butt back on. Wouldn't want you laughing your butt off too much. Yeah, I'll definitely show you when things go weird, when things go sideways. Pretty flat now, huh? Okay. I've thought about an air fryer. I just don't really have room for one. I don't know where I'd put it. I got so many appliances right now. Yeah, Jaw's the same way. Jaw won't even go out when it's raining. He won't go out if the ground's wet. Yeah, that is one spoiled doggy. I heard that he was going to Daytona. So he was at the Super Bowl. Now he's at Daytona. That's cool. I hear when they put him on the Super Bowl on the big screen at the Super Bowl, he was only there for like 3 seconds, and the crowd just went wild. And they had to quickly pull him off because can't let the world know how much they love Donald Trump. I guess Taylor Swift got booed. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can understand how foreign countries would prefer to have a weak president in the United States, like Joe Biden, someone they can walk all over rather than someone that's going to stand up for his country. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I guess I sort of understand, the issue. They say it takes 2 cents to make one penny. So, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, we changed from copper to zinc anyway a number of years ago. And so what everything after like the early 90s or something like that is made out of zinc, and it still is still costs more than it's worth. I got a big Sparkletts bottle in my bedroom filled with pennies. I bet you some of them. I bet you there's a lot of copper in there. It'd be fun to separate them because I've been collecting them since I was a kid. So there's got to be a bunch of copper ones in there. But when you're looking to eliminate waste, maybe that's the way to do it. That's true. It's not worth the trouble to pick up a penny these days. See, I think that might be an issue with me if we eliminated $1 or $2 bills and the smallest was five. That just means that everything's going to go up by $5. I like some of the size dollars because I got like some Susan B. Anthony dollars. There was a while there where the post office, their vending machines would dispense change in Susan B. Anthony dollars, and I still have those. Those are cool. And I got a jar full of of the quarters that they were making when they were making the state quarters. Every state had its own design. I just thought the Susan B. Anthony dollars were pretty. Let me show you. I'm gonna go get my Susan B. Anthony's because they're just in a jar. Show you some of the strange things I have here. I don't know. Maybe that's gonna have to be a subject for another video. I can't find them right now. I thought they were just right in my bedroom, but I guess they aren't. Yeah, it's a $1.25 store now, huh? Yeah. Either that or they're selling pieces of lint that they found in the street for $1. Good seeing you too, Jenny. Hope you keep coming back. It's been a while. You gotta don't be such a stranger or something like that. I did too. I have a whole jug of those too. I just can't remember where I put it all. Because I've always liked coins and stuff like that. I even have a couple of steel pennies. Oh, lucky you, King Charles. Oh boy. I didn't know there was a postal stamp museum, but I guess Washington D.C. would be the place for it to be. Do you still have the collection? Yeah, I don't know that much. I don't follow the Royals that much, but I'm not really a fan of Charles. Doing a clown parade at the races. That's awesome. That sounds like a good place to have a museum, though, is it? In an old post office building. Yeah, yeah, Chuck, exactly. King Chuck. Call him Charles U. Farley, but he goes by Chuck. Oh, Kennedy half dollars. Yeah, I have like I like the bicentennial coins that we did here in the U.S. in 1976. I still have a bunch of those too. Jessica collects postcards, huh? All right. My dad. Well, at the end, my dad was collecting the little model lighthouses. You probably have seen some of those in pictures. We all ended up with one of those. We buried him with one. I ended up taking one. My mom ended up with about half a dozen of them, and she was buried with one of them. And my sister got one, and my niece and nephew got one. I don't know what happened to the rest, but he wasn't a really huge collector. But yeah, I still have the one here. I basically when I have the train village set up during Christmas, I have the lighthouse kind of right next to the train station. But other than that, it just kind of lives on some of the shelves here. But yeah, that's the lighthouse that I got. Looks like you got that one from Sweden based on the flag that's on it. Let's see, what does it say on the bottom here? Just celebrating 10 years of making stuff like this, I guess. But that's pretty cool, right? I get the dust off of it here. I don't know. Looks kind of cool. So yeah, that was one that he got, and that became mine when he passed. No, they don't light up. Yeah, my parents traveled a little bit after they retired. It would be cool if it lit up, but no, it's just a little figurine thing. But it's very detailed, and it doesn't feel like junk. It's got some weight to it, so it's nice. But yeah, my parents did like a bunch of cruises and stuff like that. They like that kind of stuff. Well, I think that's what started with my dad because I think they visited a lighthouse, and he from that point on, every time he went to a place, he'd bring home a lighthouse, a little figurine like that. So he had like, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them. Don't you mean the Gulf of America? Oh yeah, you definitely want your coins uncirculated. I think you did. I think you just spelled it wrong. I've only been to Mexico once. It was when I was a kid. We just, I have, well, even then, still do. I have cousins that live in San Diego, and so, we go over the border into Tijuana like once, and I wasn't into it. I know you get more into Mexico. There's some real beautiful places down there, but now with all the criminality that's going on down there, I don't think I'd want to be part of that anyway. Yeah, I could do that. I haven't been to the ocean in Texas yet. Those are all supposedly beautiful places. I wouldn't mind going to like a place like Jamaica or the Bahamas, or even the Dominican Republic. But there's certain places that I'm just not interested in. But I've never really been that fascinated with international travel to begin with. There's so many beautiful things here in America. Bahamas is a waste of money, huh? I suppose that's probably true. It probably gets a little too touristy, and then everything gets expensive. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I noticed the people that visited the Padre Islands. Yeah, Florida's nice. I've been to Florida once. Went there to do a trade show when I was still working in the CD world, and had a couple days to hang out. So I went down to Cape Canaveral, and I went to Disney World. That was before I worked at the company. I only spent like one day at Disney World though, so I didn't really get a chance to really experience the whole thing. And now I'm so poisoned on Disney, I probably wouldn't go even though I've got free tickets. I think it'd be fun if I went to Florida to go down and visit the Everglades. Yeah, I know Disney is really big on the Make a Wish stuff. Because even when I was doing that, it's like that was something with Disney I could get behind. Is them doing that. Because we were encouraged, because the Make a Wish kids, they usually have a little button that says Make a Wish, and we were instructed if we ever spotted one of those to approach them and ask, hey, would you give them special perks and stuff like that. I was always working shows. So, for instance, one of the shows I did was a dance show based on the Disney cartoon Phineas and Ferb, and whenever we'd see somebody at the Phineas and Ferb shows, we'd always offer them a free meet and greet with Phineas and Ferb after the show. If they followed us to the gate, Phineas and Ferb would come out and talk to them. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having some gold. That'd be cool. That's one of the things I think Kara at the rock store hasn't figured out about me is I kind of like raw gemstones. I got a ruby, I got a couple of um, opals, I got a sapphire. I don't think she's picked up on that yet. I just think gold is a really beautiful mineral. Burmese ruby, huh? Yeah, see, I got a ruby, but my ruby is just a raw ruby. It isn't like a gem grade, but it still reacts with the black light under a black light. That's great. Might know where to get you a Burmese python. That'd be good, right? Almost as good. I mean, who wouldn't want a snake that could eat your kids? Rubies are gorgeous stones. I love rubies. Yeah, I have a friend that used to have a snake. He used to be a I don't know if he's retired now, but he used to be a biology teacher in a high school, and so he always had the best creatures. In fact, he was the one that helped me figure out what kind of a tortoise Flash was. Even babysat her for a while. Yeah, yeah. Gold is expensive now. Prices will probably start coming down at some point, though. It's expensive right now because everybody's using it as a reserve for dollars because of inflation being so out of control. Yeah, my high school biology teacher had all sorts of creatures in aquariums and stuff like that, reptiles and amphibians and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Mice, rats. The race has started, so it's just you now, huh? Well, let's let's add a little bit more insult to injury here. It's probably going to be not me either, for long here. I put in my 2 hours, so I think I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Go watch the race, Rhonda, with the family. Thanks everyone for a fun live stream. I'll see you next week. Good night.